Good nutrition is critical for achieving your fitness goals, especially with endurance sports. If you don't fuel your body right before, during, and after your run, then you'll miss the mark. Today, I'm sharing the specific strategies I've learned to fuel my work. Hi, I'm Coach Rick for X3TF. There are a lot of choices when it comes to fueling your body before exercise. In this episode, I'm going to focus on how I'm fueling my long training sessions, specifically those that are greater than 1 hour. I'll focus on recovery nutrition in a later episode. Given the grueling training sessions to prepare for a marathon, recovery and nutrition go hand in hand. Now, let's be clear. When it comes to hard endurance work, the body prefers carbs. That's not to say that we don't burn fat. In fact, we actually have enough fat on our bodies to run a marathon. Burning carbs, however, is more efficient for the body because even when we're burning more fat in the lower heart rate zones, your body is still needing to use glycogen, which is the stored form of glucose derived from carbs. Yes, there are runners out there that subscribe to the keto principles of high fat, but I would argue against keto for marathon training since it takes a lot of work to become fat adapted, and it's even more of a challenge to make sure your body isn't breaking down its muscle tissue along with fatty acids to synthesize glucose. The day before a big race or a long run, I find carb loading to be beneficial. Carb loading is a strategy that works well for endurance sports lasting more than 90 minutes, like marathon training. The onset of fatigue can be slowed by the additional glycogen in the body. Carb loading strategies are quite varied, and the goal is to start 1 to 3 days before the race to store about 2,000 to 2,500 calories from glycogen. If you're a long distance runner, you're going to need to have good quality carbs make up about 50 to 60% of your diet anyway. But for carb loading days, you're going to want to look to eat between 2 to 5 grams per pound of body weight. That means carbs would make up between 70 to 90% of your diet on loading days. Also, avoid strenuous exercise on loading days that could deplete your glycogen stores before the event. I find that focusing on carb loading the day before is enough time for me before a long run or race. I might alter this strategy closer to the actual marathon day where I add an extra day of carb loading. You'll know it's working when you start to see and feel the bloat. Glycogen storage also causes an increase in water retention. Don't worry, it's not permanent. You'll want to eat foods that are easy to digest and relatively good quality, such as bagels, sweet potatoes, baked potatoes, rice, and some veggies. You don't want to add too much fiber the day before an event. Fiber can cause some GI issues during a long endurance run. And let's be frank, when you're out on there for a long run far from home, and even in some races, access to a restroom is not always readily available. Whether it's a long training run or a race lasting more than 90 minutes, I avoid eating a meal unless I can be sure I'll have at least 3 hours to digest it. If that's the case, I'll have half a bagel with a peanut butter and 3 egg whites. But most times, I find it's better to get the extra sleep, still about 30 to 45 minutes before I start to run. I'll ingest some simple carbs and sugars by eating a few dates, a stroopwafel, or a gel depending on my mood. All have benefits and drawbacks. The dates are natural, provide a slower release of energy, but do have some fiber. The stroopwafels are the most delicious, but have at least 3 grams of saturated fat. The gels are simple carbs, but don't always taste the best, but they are in the form in which the body can use almost immediately. Then there's the energy chews that offer a chewable variation of the gel. On runs lasting an hour or more, I use a gel every 30 to 40 minutes depending on my pace. The rule of thumb is we need 120 to 240 calories per hour of work, consisting of 40 to 60 grams of carbs. Personally, I find the goo gels work best for me. I don't want to eat and run, as I'm afraid I'm not that talented, so I might wind up sidelining myself from choking or worse, bite my tongue or cheek. The gels go down smoothly with some water, but they are not the best tasting. Each goo gel contains a variety of ingredients including carbohydrates, electrolytes, and amino acids. Some flavors have caffeine, which I find helps my focus and can help with energy levels too. I chose GU because of the branched chain amino acids in them that help with protein synthesis and muscle protection. I've tried Huma gels as well and love the taste. It's much more natural and less of the chemical taste like GU gels. They also have 1 gram of protein and 1 gram of fiber in each gel. Sadly, each time within minutes after taking a Huma gel, I found a sudden urge to find a restroom. I'm not sure if it's the fiber or a reaction to the chia seeds that are in the Huma gels. So for me, I won't be taking Huma gels on a long run. That's a lot of information in this episode, but here's the bottom line. You're going to need to experiment to find your own sweet spot. Use the guidelines I've discussed here as a starting point and adjust to what works best for you. But remember the most important rule of running. You could call this the golden rule of running. Absolutely, positively nothing, and I mean nothing new on race day. On race day, you only use what you've already tried during your training. This way, you avoid being sidelined or having to run with GI issues. I'm Coach Rick. Remember, don't wish for it, work for it.